Welcome back, everyone. In this episode, we are going to remove a nail from this tire and we're going to plug it with a standard tire plug kit. So we pulled this tire out of the warehouse. It is one that has been taken off as a spare from one of our fleet vehicles, and it has a nail in it. You might be able to eyeball that on the front. To do this, you will need some sort of pliers to pull the nail or screw nail out. Ideally, you have a pair of side cutters because we're going to cut the excess from the plug once it's installed. And sometimes even a flathead screwdriver is ideal just to help get the screw out the little bit so we can get our pliers on it. So we're not going to do this on the table. We're going to pull it down because we got to really hep at it. But we will try to remove the nail so you can see it clearly here. And then we'll pull it down onto the ground and insert the plug and go through that process. So we've used a black marker here just to put a mark on where this is. Now, why I do that is I've been in situations where you pull the screw nail out and you spin the tire, just get it on the ground where you want to work on it, and then you can't find the hole. Sometimes when you pull the screw nail out, the hole is so small that the rubber of the tire just seals right back over, and it's very difficult to find it. Now, if that happens, very simple, fill it back up with air, just put some soapy water around the tire, a lot of soapy water, and it'll bubble where the air is coming out, or you'll see the water hiss, okay? So if you do lose the screw nail, just add some soapy water to it and make sure you've got air pressure in and you'll be able to identify it again. But to get ahead of that, we've put a black marker on here. We're just going to lift this screw head a little bit. Oh, she's hissing. Use our side cutters, get under the head of it. And there we are. It's always a small screw. When the tire comes along and rides on that, it'll bend it in. Anything too long, it won't lift it up. So even if this is on its side, you can hit a car, you can tire, and it'll pull up in, and there you go. So one thing we do need the air pressure out of this. It makes it easier to put the plug in, obviously, if there's no air pressure. So we're just going to let this hiss out. If it's a small leak and you don't want to wait forever, you can remove the valve stem. So just go to your local hardware store and get yourself a valve stem remover if you don't have one. Generally, it's just a 2-ridge cap that you can buy. It looks a lot like your standard cap. It's just stainless, has a groove in it, and you reverse it and you can unthread the valve stem and put it back in afterwards. We'll let this one hiss out while we set it on the ground and get ready to put the plug in. So what we have here is a 2-in-1, what they call a handle, reamer, and plugger. So if you buy one that's a double, you'll see that one of them really looks like a small circular file, where the other one has the needle head end on it where you're going to put the plug in. This one's a 2-in-1, so we're going to have to clean up the hole is essentially what's going to happen. And by doing that, we'll put this thing in and we're just going to carve a bit in the hole for 2 reasons. One, we need to make enough space. So I always twist these to get them in. Once you get it in all the way, don't be afraid. You need to saw it a bit. Spin it a couple times. And you can see that it starts to clean out the hole. Now, all tires are steel belted, so you are potentially going to be filing against one of those steel threads inside the rubber. The idea here is that you're going to put a plug in that's quite big. So you have to have the hole big enough in order to get that plug to go in. So if you get your plug, these are gooey little guys. You're going to pull one out and you have to thread it into here. Often your pliers come in handy again. Get it started just a little bit and then grab your pliers and pull it through. You're pulling it through to the halfway point. So this is what you're striving to achieve. You've got your halfway point. Now, these separate at the end, so what happens is this will push it in, and then when we pull it back out, it'll leave it in there. One test to see if the hole is big enough is to just try and get it in. If you can't get it in, then your hole needs to be filed more. There she goes. Going in slowly. I'm going to take it in until there's about 1 centimeter sticking out on both sides, and this is why you want it to be level. Then you are going to pull this thing out with all of your might, and it leaves just the plug inside. And we're going to snip these off flush. And we have just plugged this tire. So we're going to take this out in the shop, we're going to air it up, we'll bring it back in, and hopefully it won't be leaking. We'll have a successfully plugged tire. Okay, we just brought this back in from the shop. It has its 40 psi, which is standard for this particular tire. We added some soapy water to it. No leaks, so we're in pretty good shape. So you've got this plugged. My recommendation, get it on a car, go out, drive around, get the vehicle up to speed, get this plug pushed in from the inside, and you should be fine. You can check the pressure for the first few days just to double check if you're feeling a little bit cautious. I have plugged tires myself, and they've lasted for 2 years until the tire was literally without any tread and it needed to go. So these plugs do work. What you don't want is to put a plug anywhere on the sidewall. If this sidewall has got a nail in it, unfortunately your tire is garbage. But if you're in this tread pattern, you're comfortable to plug these quite easily. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to be notified of our latest videos.